Yo, this is Kembe X, and I'm here with all hip hop. Yes, sir. I was depressed until I made this out now.
What's the word? It's your man Slops, allhiphop.com. We here filming at One World Studios, and I got my man Kembe X. What's the word, man?
I'm well, bro. How you living?
I can't complain. I'm well, too. Besides the cold. It's getting cold out here, man.
It's getting cold, but you know it's gonna be way colder, so I'm not tripping.
Yeah, you from Chicago. You
I'm from, you feel me? The polar vortex capital. Yes, sir.
But, so, what's the X stand for?
The X, man. Let me try to make it short, right? So, basically, I started writing poetry around the same time that I got into it with my pops, like in a physical altercation. In short, he beat the shit out of me, and I was mad at him for a few days. I was coming up with a name, and whole time my biological grandfather's last name is not what my last name or my dad's last name was. So it's kind of inspired by Malcolm X, but it wasn't really it wasn't necessarily like some like civil rights, like super black power type shit. Even though I am big on that too, like it was more so just separating away from that name that kind of means like it's meaningless to me. You know what I mean?
Got you. So this around what age was that?
15. Like probably 15, and right before I would have been 15 and a half.
Okay, so this is when you start writing?
Yeah, right. So I started off writing poetry and rock songs. I was playing guitar. Like, where I'm from, I'm from the south suburbs of Chicago. Same demographic as what you would imagine the South Side is. And like I wanted to be in like a rock band. I was playing guitar, but nobody that I knew. Everybody was listening to Waka Flocka and Lil Wayne. You feel me? So like, I just kind of like when that shit happened with my dad, I kind of transitioned into really finally going back into listen to like the golden era of hip hop. And like even at the time, it was like Big Sean, Big Crit. You know what I'm saying? J. Cole, Currency, Wiz. Like they at the time especially was representing like kind of a modern version of that golden era type shit,
like real 09ish type.
Yeah, 09. This was January 2010 when I got into
it. That was heavy in that era too.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, sir.
Got you. All right, then. So cool. So the issues you had with your father, that inspired you to start writing?
No, I was already writing. That inspired me to. So this is what it was. This always worded right. So I was listening to mad rock, like this all rock music. The only rap type shit I was listening to was Cudi. But when I got back from that hospital, that Linkin Park wasn't hitting. Like it was, you feel me? Like it just felt kind of like, and like no disrespect to what people go through, but like, my eyes swollen shut and I just got beat the fuck up. Like this sad ass rock music, it wasn't resonating. So I went and put on some MF Doom. I put on some Biggie. I put on some Nas, and like I'm not like from the hood by any means either, but just that energy kind of was resonating with me more. So I started writing more in that vein, and and also at the time I'm 15. I'm not like doing it I'm not trying to be like a famous rapper. Like I'm not trying to be a famous nothing. I wasn't trying to make music to be big. I just wanted to be in a band. I wanted to rap.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it was with like a creative outlet instead of
exactly. Because I struggled in school. I struggled socially. Like I wasn't like I didn't fit in. I didn't make shit. I still don't make sense to a lot of people. But now I look at that as an advantage. But back then, I didn't really make sense with people. So I had a hard time, connecting with people. And then when I started making music and like saying that stuff like proudly, that's when I started to have people that used to act like they didn't mess with me, being like, yo, like that shit you saying was, or no, not even with that too, on some fugazi shit, but also it would be people like, yo, like what you said in this song, like I be going through this, but no one ever said it before, and that's kind of like what hit for me is like that's the purpose of being an artist. You say those things that nobody else will say, and you find out that. In this whole room, niggas might not say it themselves, but as soon as you say it, they be like, bro, me too.
Like, I want to be the first nigga to say
it. So that's the role. That's the way I see it. But yeah, it all started with writing poetry and trying to make rock music for sure.
Okay, now you make sure you make the distinction that you grew up like in the south suburbs. Right?
In the south suburbs. Exactly.
What would be the difference between the south side of Chicago and South Holland?
So the south suburbs is just a little bit more tame. Like the South Side is like, it's close to like New York, like being in Brooklyn. The thing is, I don't know what to compare to in New York. Like in LA, I can make it make sense. Like you got Compton,
I say like Long Island.
You got but I ain't never been there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but like
Mm.
with LA, you got like Compton, and and that's like the you got like Watts, which is still like LA, really like the project. And you got Compton, which is like the hood suburb. Then you got like Carson and Gardena, which is like more tame versions where like shit happens, but it's just not the same. Like the environment's not the same, right? So when I was in kindergarten, the school I went to was like 70% white. When I graduated, it was 3 white kids in my graduating class. Okay. Like on Lim on my album, I'm talking about like how, you know, like I grew up around all these white kids. By the time I'm 13, it's all black kids, and like I grew up around like some parties I went to, it was white kids like sniffing coke. And then when I would kick it with like some of my managers, like my peer, my niggas in my grade that was trying to manage me, like them niggas was cooking crack. You know what I'm saying?
So you got the
both worlds. It's like right in between. That's the best way I would describe it. It's like South Holland, like there's murders, but when you walking through South Holland, you don't feel like you're in danger. But it's still the same Chicago culture, the same mindset. Like this is what I was saying the other day. Like it's all these people that's from. It's a lot of like famous, successful young rappers right now that if I said their names, you'll be like, oh damn, that's from the suburbs, but no one claims it. You know, because in Chicago it's like, nigga, you ain't from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, are they touchy about that? Like
yeah, like very, bro, like very. And it's just like, you know, and I as a kid, like I was always self-conscious about that too. Like now I have a confidence in myself and like, and more so a sense of purpose to like, you know, you're not supposed to, if you're gonna be great, like imagine some kid that's from South Holland or Homewood growing up to be like a legend, but they never claimed Homewood. But it's like, nigga, that's the environment that made you who you are. But you claim in Chicago. And Chicago been roasting you this whole time for being from Homewood. And that's you know, like I embrace
say whole time.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Whole time.
Like, you know, like they've been roasting you for being where you from, and it's like it's all the same thing at the end of the day. So I just believe in kind of like, you know, I try not to think too much, but I do think about things like this don't make no fucking sense. Like why would I not claim where I'm from? You know what I mean?
So with that, and you saying like you partying with white people and stuff, what type of music did you listen to? What type of music influenced you?
Like to make music or just as a kid?
Just as a kid. What was you listening to as a kid?
I mean, I was listening to like, so I was sheltered until I was like 9. Like Jesus Walks got me into like where my mom would let me listen to rap. Like when I was a kid, I grew up with what was on the radio. Like Next Episode was on the radio all the time and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Nelly was on the radio all the time and shit. Ludacris. But what got me into it was that Jesus Walks. I got in College Dropout, Late Registration, Food and Liquor, and then I branched off of that like kind of more like conscious style shit into like T.I. King, Urban Legend, and then right after that it became, and this is like every year. So it was like 4th, 5th grade it was Kanye first album. 6th grade it was Late Registration and Lupe album. 7th grade it was fucking Soulja Boy and Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Like 8th grade it was whoever the fuck made Party Like a Rock Star. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as just you know, I was listening to Shop Boys made that, and it was like, you know, I was listening to everything in between, but at the same time too, like back then I didn't really like, you know, music wasn't like the biggest thing in the world to me. Like I was writing poetry back then, but like music was just kind of like, you know, I always thought Lupe was the hardest nigga, but like nobody around everybody I was like, bro, Lil Wayne's way better than him. Like you're crazy. Like I'll beat your ass.
In Chicago they wasn't jacking him like that?
Hell no, bro. Chicago's like very like
because that's the hometown. So I'm thinking like they fuck
but
with.
Lupe's counterculture, bro.
Yeah.
Like Lupe thrived as counterculture. Like you know, Chicago is like the majority of the culture is going to lean towards the hood shit because it's a city full of gangs. Like Chicago history is like on the white people side it's the mafia and the cricket police.
The
and
outfit,
then the black side is the, you know, is like either your people made it out and made it big, or it's kind of like repeating this cycle, and that's really Black America too. And I want to get into all that, but you know, like that's how I be looking at the shit.
True, say. Okay, then. So, now that we're up to speed, we got
yeah.
I was depressed before I made this.
Until I made this. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So I mean that's a really heavy theme to slap on an album.
Yeah.
Okay then. So what made you decide to name it that?
First and foremost, because I wanted to have an album title that was so straightforward that like what space I was in when I made it. Because with me, I have a really hard. It's really easy for me to make songs. It's really hard for me to make sense of them. Like, it makes sense to me, but then I'm thinking like, damn, like how is niggas gonna see this shit though? You know what I'm saying? And like, I had a few other ideas that were more abstract because I like abstract ideas. I like things that make you think. But for me, this is such a different creative process making this, and like a whole different outlook on life that came with making this. So I wanted to like, for the first time ever, just have something that was just like, this is what was going on with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I made this album, making this album helped me like uncover a lot of like buried mental issues about depression. Like depression and mental health has been a big thing in my life. I was diagnosed with bipolar depression when I was 14 years old. I never followed up with that because it freaked me out to hear that, and I was like, I'm not going back. And ever since then, I've been wondering, like, you know, like when I'm in a dark space, is this like a chemical imbalance, or is this like
natural,
or is this just like a regular,
thing
you know, like yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like what I realized when I was putting together the album, out of like the first 6 or 7 songs that I used, was like, what's consistent about this? And it's like on these songs, I'm hearing myself like trying to figure out and being more vulnerable than ever for one. And it seemed like I'm trying to figure out, why am I like this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, all right, so this would be your second LP. And then like your first LP is what broke it to the masses. Then you had a single with some of Top Dawg's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So between that transition, you took a little hiatus. What did you have to be depressed about without getting like too deep or too personal? What did you think, like, what was putting you in that zone?
Well, so that's what the album's about. Now, if I had to answer it off top right now, like, nigga, I like living in LA. I've lived in mansions, had my own room, big ass house, balcony, pool, all that. But I also spent a lot of time sleeping on people's couches and sleeping on floors, not making no money. You know what I'm saying? And then when you living like that, and you alcoholic, and you like taking Xans every day and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bad with money when you do make it. Like, you know, like relationship issues. Like those are things that I think definitely contributed to it. But I think what my battle was trying to figure out, am I depressed because of a chemical imbalance?
Yeah.
Because of like when they said I have bipolar depression?
Yeah.
Or is it just because of these circumstances? You know what I'm saying? So,
or maybe a mixture.
Or a mixture, exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of the album is me investigating like my relationships with the role model, my male role models in my life. Like,
I guess so. The thing about the album that caught me off guard, because you know when you read the title, you think like it's gonna be like some sad, downtrodden type of shit. But it is actually like kind of upbeat. You have to actually like listen. You understand?
Yeah.
Like I heard you mention bipolar. You didn't mention it in a couple of songs, but like I said, the songs are so catchy and so up tempo. Like you know, like what made you go like, all right, well, it's supposed to be about depression, but these shits is like kind of like I could play this in a club.
So like, well, this is, and I just had this a conversation the other day with my homie, right? I'm a go the other way ass nigga. Like whenever it's like, cause me deciding to, I almost didn't want to use that title because so many niggas is like driving the idea of depression into the ground.
Mental health.
Yeah, and it's like, it's an important thing to talk about, but I feel like people is not representing it thoroughly. It's like a gimmick, and I hate that, you know. But and also it's such a hard thing because it's like I don't want to tell niggas that that's what they doing. I don't want to say like that's what you doing, but that's just how it feels to me. And so this is the main reason I did that, right? When I was a kid and I would be in a depressive state, and there was a really sad song that was super relatable, I would listen to it all day, every day, and it would keep me sad. And I felt like that was the worst thing for what I was going through, is that this song is making me sad, it's making me want to be sad, and it's like a loop. And now I could have got over this if I had someone to actually talk to about this shit.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, it was really started with the song Voices. Like when I made Voices, I'm like, okay, like this is like dark themes, but this song feels good. I wish I had songs that like was touching on what I was going through, but didn't make me feel like I wanted to cry. You know what I'm saying? Like type
made
shit.
You feel like it was gonna be all right.
Yeah, I want people that when this does resonate with them, I want them to feel like, yeah, bro, like you not alone, and like this shit is going to suck, but like also like it's not gonna suck forever. Like literally, it's just not. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think people might misconstrue the message?
Absolutely, people misconstrue everything. You know, like that's not this is one thing I'll say. I'm not so like far gone in my head to think that everyone is going to understand everything I'm trying to do. So I just do my best to make sense, to make sure that what I'm trying to do makes sense. Because I feel like once you start trying to get everyone to understand it, you're kind of like filing down the main points of what you're trying to do so that everyone can get it. But now you not, you know, and I'm not saying I did it perfectly either. Yeah. But like I have no concern with who doesn't get it. It's about who does get it, in my opinion.
So I just seen the scoreboard video.
Yes, sir.
That's one of my favorite songs on the joint.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what goes into like the planning and stuff of that nature for like videos and things of that nature, like the treatments of videos?
So that was Psycho Films, and to be real, like that, I had no input on that. Like it was just
showed
like,
up that day
because it was like, you know, Psycho Films shot like King's Dead and like the IDK 24 video and shit, and the fucking the Doja Cat Juicy with you know what I'm saying. So it's like, man, y'all tight, like y'all can do whatever. Like sometimes, like I'm the type of dude that I'm realizing too, like I come up with these treatments that are unrealistic without like a big ass budget, you know, and I'm kind of like a make do type of person, you know. So right now where I'm at is like, as long as I'm not going to just put out nothing that I think is trash, I'm gonna definitely refine. No, we got to do this. No, I'm gonna put my vision in it. Once I'm gonna let the director go first, because this is your expertise. Like my expertise is making a song. You know what I'm saying, and like knowing what I stand for and what I'm trying to communicate. I'm gonna leave for now, at least. I'm gonna leave it on the director to.
Oh, okay. Do that. So you let the experts give their expertise
for now, but because and that's only because I had to humble myself, because I used to want to direct everything, and it would never be practical. So I had to be honest and be like, okay, maybe that's not my
Williams
thing.
budget.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
With the public access. I mean,
you know and then niggas got to give a fuck about what the fuck I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Good point. Like okay. So with the like I said earlier, with the success of the first one, did it put any pressure on this one?
I mean, shit, to me, the first one didn't do good at all. Like, it did, like, there's people who say, like, man, that shit was so, like, it meant a lot to them. But I think, also, I was in such a bad mental space, too. And, like, with this album, what I learned making this album is how important it is to be vulnerable. So back then, I was not liking what I was doing, but I felt like I needed to do something, so I was acting like I liked it.
Okay.
And with this album, like, if I had to go through a phase, I was like, fuck music, bro. I don't want to make music no more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and this is after your first LP.
Yeah, and like being on tour and like doing all this
that's
dope
what I'm
shit.
saying. Yeah,
I had to be like, fuck this shit, bro. And like me doing that freed my mind to realize, for one, that I'm never gonna stop making music. Because after I said fuck making music, within a week, maybe a month,
you was picking up the
songs was coming to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like hitting, and now I'm feeling bold because I done said fuck music. I'm hitting up like artists that I know fuck with me that I would have never hit up to help me, like, yo, man, play some chords on this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hit up Ash Riser, like, just off an idea that I had that I sang on a voice note sitting on the curb. And, like, yo, man, it's an idea I had. And this is not some shit that's going to come out. But, like, I just started to move kind of more like, fuck it, bro. Like, if I had to, like, sum it up, I stopped caring so much, bro. Yeah. Like, it's like this room full of people, right? Like, it's respect I got for y'all off top, right? But at the end of the day, each one of our best ideas, it's going to be at least one of us, if not the whole room, is going to be like, nah, bro, that's dumb. But just because we all said that it's dumb doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Or people might not relate.
Yeah, because it's like you can't get blocked by, like, even if 10,000 niggas said this shit's trash, there's like 7 billion people in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta really,
somebody gonna relate,
and you gotta be, obviously I like check to see like if this shit is dumb or not. You know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, if I'm really passionate about it, I gotta do it. And if it go wrong, I'm gonna fall on my face. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if I listen to what the next nigga tell me what to do, and it go wrong, I'm still gonna fall on my face. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather it be me.
At least you enjoyed it. You
enjoyed
the process.
You know, like I don't believe anybody know everything that's going on. You know?
Factual. Nah, that's true. All right, then cool. So you said Jesus Walks is what really got you into like LPs and stuff of that nature. What you think about Jesus is King?
I like it. I like it. Mm-hmm. I like it. Out there, cause like for me, like especially Follow God and Use This Gospel, great songs. Now, Kanye's most recent music, I'm not the biggest fan. And also, obviously, he been saying some shit that I just can't get behind at all. You know what I mean? And it's tough because it's like this is like my biggest inspiration beyond music, like as a person, like since I was 9 years old. You know, but I mean, like Jesus is King. I like the direction. You know, especially if you being genuine about where he coming from.
Do you feel it? Do you feel like it's a genuine thing?
Yeah, because it's such an extreme thing to just, I'm gonna make a gospel album and I'm gonna tell these niggas don't have sex if you're not married. While like, you know, I think he's serious. It's just what I like, and I say this because I care about Kanye. Like my concern is like, you know, like what I'm always it's always a curveball with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like you
might fuck with this, but then
I want to buy into this, but then it turned out that you doing this for this reason, and it's like, bro, I don't want to. So like what I just said the other day is like I really like what Kanye doing right now, but I'm gonna like it from a distance, and I'm gonna keep watching what he do next, because it's like a polarization. Like he might be really headed in a super dope great direction. Yeah. But he might be doing that shit that he been doing lately that I can't fuck with.
Yeah, true.
So it's like,
I mean, like, all right, so now, like, you in certain rooms and, like, you toured and things of that nature. Yeah. So you're meeting some of your heroes and your inspirations and shit of that nature, right? Yeah. Is it true what they say, like, you don't want to meet your heroes? Like, so far your experiences?
No. What I will say is that stop putting anybody on a pedestal. Because everybody's just a person, just like you know? And because then it's like, you don't want to meet, like, now some niggas are super assholes, but that'd be your heroes or not, you know? Like, I think that's too broad, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of niggas I look up to that are cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? They're like, and are super like humble and down to earth. And then there's some niggas that are just like weird and like, damn, I would have never imagined you was so anxious and like, you know, but that's like how people are. You feel me? So it's like, I don't know, bro. Like I don't have no idols, bro. Like I love everybody equally, and that's not on no cliche shit. That's on some like I really have a vision of like it's a certain style of communication and approaching people that's like love.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like
okay, then so now we're talking about the post depression because you got the album out. You was depressed until all right. Then so now that we're no longer that in 2020, what do you see going on for Kembe X?
Man, still staying centered. You feel me? Like. And just continuing to love what I do, and just getting better, bro. Like I mean, I make so much music, bro. The hardest thing is organizing this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then figuring out which power plays to do. It's like, I got 2 albums ready, but they missing like that, like power player, like that feature, or like that, or just that crazy idea that's gonna take it to like the next level, you know. But I just love what I do, so I'm gonna keep moving, putting out projects. I got a tour coming up. Like I said, we just did. I was depressed till I made this. We're gonna keep promoting that, you know.
Any other singles?
Like after the album?
No, I mean I'm on the album right now.
Oh yeah, we're trying to. I want to shoot a video to every song. I don't know how we gonna execute that.
That's a lot of songs.
Yeah, it is, but I just feel like nowadays we're just like do shit. Just do shit, bro. Like niggas is not
content.
It's like it's content, but it's also like no one fucking cares, bro. It's like in the sense that like I could look like a fucking idiot today, right? And like everybody hates me, but like if next week I say some shit that everyone thinks is so real and touch their heart, they don't remember the dumbass shit. No one cares, bro. The life moving is moving too fast, bro. It's driving all of us crazy. I just wanna like actually be of some type of benefit to people.
So shit with an attitude like that, how you get shit like that you think like stick? Like how you understand what I'm saying? Like if you think like everything just keeps moving. Shit. So how do you become a legend? Like that's the thing, you know. Like classic stick. You understand what I'm saying?
Like what? Like what's a new one though?
Shit. I mean,
can I be bold? Can I be bold? Right, and say a thing. Maybe I should. I don't believe that that's a thing anymore, bro. Too much shit happens. So much shit happens that thousands of kids call shit a classic the day it comes out.
Nah, I've seen
and then
that.
completely forget about it 2 months later.
Exactly. So
that's just what it is. That's just what it is.
So how do
now
you,
only time will tell. In 10 years, we're gonna look back and some shit is gonna stand out. But I think it's gonna be like the run, like how we talk about like Lil Wayne's 2006, 2007 mixtape run.
Yeah,
like
crazy.
like nowadays it's gonna be like the stretch of time, you know, and that's like I don't know, bro. I just don't think like I think that it's a lot of artists, including me, like that put a lot of time and effort into their music, and they getting like financial, monetary results. But I don't think the cultural capital comes with this was a classic.
So you agree with like Dre just came out and said, you know, it's too much quantity over quality right now.
It's over with.
Yeah, that's so we'll never scale it back down. You don't think it'll ever come back to the point where, you know, there's like a 2-month press run for an album. You remember those days? Like the single came out like a month before, shit like that.
It's over with.
It's a dub.
The last rap album. The last. What's going on?
Oh no, that's me moving the microphone.
Oh shit, my fault.
Yeah, that's me.
The last rap album that I super anticipated was fucking The Waters by Mick Jenkins in 2000. What was that? 14, 15?
About then.
I haven't.
I haven't. You know what? I haven't listened to that, and that to me, I mean, like I don't want to overuse the word classic, but that's a classic. But
yeah,
I didn't.
You
I anticipated it, until I heard it, and then I was like, oh, this some shit. So even that, I wasn't really like.
And don't get me wrong, when I say classic, I'm talking about like reputation wise, because there's a lot of crazy dope like best shit ever type shit coming out. But who cares?
Yeah, who's gonna put it down?
That's what
as
it's like.
With
Yeah,
the Chronic,
you know what I'm saying?
Illmatic. Yeah, who's gonna put? Yeah,
you know, because it's just so many. It's like I feel like celebrity is overtaking quality art. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. And now it's about the platform and who you represent, how people relate to you, more than it is about how good the shit is.
All right. So does that change the way you go about like presenting your projects?
A little bit, but it's just, you know, and the thing is too, like a magician never tells the secret to his tricks. You know what I'm saying? But there is an approach and an intent behind the way that I create and move with my shit, because it's not like. It's not how it used to be. Like I don't have the time to be sitting here trying to figure. Like if I spend like a year and a half trying to create the next classic, bro, the culture is gonna have gone through like 15 waves of what they give a fuck about by then. Yeah. So like the first 8 months of that is gonna be dated, unless it's all the best shit that's ever been made. Then I gotta make that make sense. You know
put it together. No, I completely get it.
It's a different thing, bro.
That's a difficult thing. Like that, so it really.
But I love it though. You know, like Paid in Full.
I love the game hustle. I love the hustle, V.
Like that's my whole thing, bro. I love the game, bro. Like I don't know what I'm doing. This is moving so fast. It's a challenge that excites me the most. It's like, how am I gonna find the sweet spot of all this shit that's going on? And you know, and there's somebody that I really admire that does that right now is IDK. I feel like IDK.
He was on the album, by the way. He was on the album.
But like IDK is like it's like a rival. It's like a sibling rivalry type thing. Like we're not even super close friends. Yeah. That's my man. He's somebody that I like be in the studio with, like kind of looking at him like, man, like I got a shit on this nigga. But then he'll be like, yo, pull up to the crib and like drop game on me, like everything. And I just feel like it's a certain cross between like what your musical vision is and then what you stand for, and that intersection is where you're gonna find your success at.
Copy. All right, then cool. So let the people know how they can get in contact with you.
Man, you know you can find me on the internet just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I don't have an OnlyFans, but I do have a Twitter and Instagram. Kembe X, KEMBE_X. Twitter, Instagram. Kembe X on YouTube. Yeah, man, get with me. Right, shout out my neighbors.
Congratulations on overcoming depression.
My boy, I appreciate it. Yes,
no problem. All hip hop, and we out.